Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 edition of the Blueprints and Banter podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kona, President and CEO of Associated Builders and Contractors, and I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. David Tertios. Dave, welcome.
Well, thank you, Steve. New year, new us. We're obviously in a new studio, trying to bring better content for you guys.
So let's talk about our sponsors for 2025. We have a whole slew of them this year.
We do. We have a lot more. So this year we are fortunate to be sponsored by Adams Group, DeWalt, Gaylor Electric, Gignard Company, Milwaukee Tool, Piper Fire Protection, and Sims Crane. We really appreciate your support of our chapter, which allows us to bring magnificent content like this to you all, to the masses.
Yeah. And this year, obviously, we have partnered with Avenue Media to really upgrade our chapter's social media offerings, and I think you're going to see quite a bit of difference. We look forward to using this podcast not only to promote what's going on at ABC, but also promote what's going on with all of our members. So we are going to reach out to our member companies and make sure that they know that we want to do podcasts. We want to share in your achievements as an industry, and we're super excited about this year. But Dave, since you are our now immediate past chair,
I am.
We had a great 2024, and I think this podcast we're going to devote to kind of sharing our success in 2024.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic idea. So, yep, as Steve mentioned, I am the immediate past chair now. So we have Scott Cox, who was sworn in the other day as our current chairman, and really excited to see where he leads our chapter in this coming year.
Yeah, I mean, 2025 is going to be great. We're going to do so many more things this year. We're going to accomplish a lot more things. But in 2024, we set record numbers in everything that we achieved, thanks to your leadership, and we appreciate that. We finished 2024 with 623 member companies, which is the largest we've ever been as a chapter. We are now the 5th largest chapter in America. Obviously, the largest chapter in the Southeast and the largest chapter in Florida.
But nobody's counting.
But nobody's counting except for me and you, right? No, it's been amazing growth. Kudos to the ABC team, who is the membership's led by Laura Gross. She does a great job. 2024, we also put on 63 networking events, if you can believe that.
No, I can definitely believe that, because obviously that means we have more than one a week. And let me just real quick, you mentioned because of me being the chairman, and I appreciate that. But obviously, really, all the work is done by ABC staff. So you and the entire staff, Rhonda, Laura, Lisa, Tanya, and Alyssa, you guys are there working basically 24/7. It seems like. I'm sure it seems like 24/7. And so, because of all the hard work that you guys put into all the events and looking for members and adding more content than just what your basic member dues pay for, that has allowed us to grow, and word is out. Everyone wants to be a member of the Florida Gulf Coast chapter. So.
Yeah, and you can see we had 63 events, and if you think about how many people attended those events, I think we had 7,800 attendees throughout the whole year. So it is a great opportunity. ABC continues to be the go-to place for networking for our entire industry, and we continue to lead the way there. So we're not just networking, Dave, and and being the chairman this year, what are some things other than networking that you felt we kind of delivered on this year?
Well, networking is important. Most people join ABC for the network opportunity. So where else can you be a member of and get exposure to over 7,000 individuals throughout the year? But what's near and dear to my heart always is the political advocacy. So we had a fantastic year of what I'll call successes as it pertains to that, not only on the federal level, but also on the local and state level. We had a record amount of money that was spent. Our members contributed to our 3 different PACs, which allowed us to pool our monies together and financially support individuals who are running for office, who's, the main thing that we focus on are individuals, supporting individuals who are in line with supporting the construction industry. And, like I say often, building projects is tough enough. We don't need additional red tape in the way. So we want to support individuals who help us make construction not any more tough than it already is.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. And when you look at the success rate that we had as an organization on our political giving, the amount of political dollars that we spent versus the win rate right? The candidates that we supported who got elected, I think we were at a 96%.
Yeah, extremely proud of that number. So 96% of the candidates that we endorsed within the state of Florida went on to win their elections. And then nationally, we had an 86% win ratio. And obviously included in that 86% figure is the office of the President of the United States.
Yeah, so now in 2025, I mean, it's time to get to work, hold people accountable, make sure that when they say that they support the construction industry, that we make sure that they do.
It's very important that you say that because, yes, we put a lot of money behind these individuals. We're very proud of our record in getting them elected into office. But now that all that's been accomplished, we have a 2-year window where a lot of things need to happen. And we're going to definitely be, as an association and as a part of, 4 other chapters within the state of Florida, we're going to be holding not feet to the fire, but we want to make sure that what they ran on and what they promised comes to fruition for our members.
Yeah, and that's the goal. And 2 big accomplishments that we had in 2024 politically statewide. The first was continuing contracts. So we have been on the forefront of continuing contracts for the last 5 years. We went it from $2 million, we got it moved to 4, and then this year we got it moved to $7.5 million. And when you think about the amount of impact that leads to the construction industry, I think it's like $1 billion worth of construction work.
Yeah, you shared that stat the other day. What's kind of neat about that part is, being a bond agent, a lot of the things that we lobby for in the construction industry, I don't really see, come to fruition, but I don't really see it come to light. But we're already seeing, our office is already seeing bond requests for contracts that are being awarded under this revised statute. So that's kind of neat to be seeing.
Yeah, and I think the goal is we want to make sure that our members have the opportunity to win work and be able to procure that work a lot faster. And when you up the threshold that local governments can dish out projects, I think it makes it better for the whole entire industry. It makes it better for the taxpayer because the taxpayer is going to get better bids, better projects, and I think it's a benefit for everyone.
And in that everyone bowl is the government entities because they're able to award larger projects, which means less paperwork for them. They don't have to make it into smaller chunks.
Right. So. Another victory that can't go without saying is we passed laws, a local bill in Tallahassee that actually eliminated additional licensing in Pinellas County, which is a big deal. So if you have a state license now, you no longer have to get a Pinellas County license in order to do the same work. So it's we're trying to cut red tape as much as we can, and that means sometimes we have to battle local governments a little bit, but I think if you're licensed in the state of Florida, you should be able to work throughout the state, and that's a big win for our industry.
Yeah, that's something that we've been trying to address for a number of years now, and it finally came to fruition thanks to continued effort of you and all of our friends who were trying to push this past the goal line. And like you said, it's one of those things that makes common sense. If you're licensed to do jobs within the state of Florida, why do you need to be relicensed to do a project within a certain county or city or whatever? So That was a big win for not just ABC, but obviously the members and commercial construction in general.
Yeah, and when you talk about another victory, our legal victory against the city of St. Pete, many of you know we've covered this in other podcasts, but we did win our lawsuit with the city of St. Pete, so it was a big victory. It's not something that, we want to go around suing cities. We don't want to do that.
Right.
But we had a real disagreement with how they wanted to, procure work, and being able to have the resources because of all of the great members of ABC to be able to fight a fight for 5 years and then come out victorious.
Yeah, I don't think enough can be said about the fact that it was a 5-year fight. And, it was not a fight for ABC. It was a fight for our members. And really, other commercial contractors in the area also benefit from this fight, even if they're not members. And if you're not a member of ABC, this is one of the reasons why you should be. But it was an unfair practice the city was trying to pass. And, let's just make sure I say that, I don't think the city of St. Pete was trying to be unfair in passing. It's something that they believed in. It's just, a lot of times government has these great ideas, and then when they come to implementing them, you find out, well, this really isn't fair for, in this case, ultimately, who was going to be really affected by this was the taxpayers. They're going to end up paying more for these projects. So 5 years cost us a pretty penny, but at the end of the day, it was well worth the effort, and I was very happy to see that come to a close.
Yep. And Florida's not going to stop building. I mean, you guys have seen this. We continue to be extremely busy. We have to make sure that we are creating an environment across the state where all of our contractors can work freely throughout the state, can bid on projects, because the more competitive Florida is in the construction industry, the better it's going to be for everyone. So a lot of victories in 2024. But let's move on and let's look forward to what we're going to accomplish in 2025.
Yeah, so more of the same, right? We have a bunch of events lined up already, a lot of networking events. We have a lot of, even though it's not an election year, we're going to be very active in the political scene. We already have ABC Florida LegCon scheduled for March 5th and 6th.
Correct.
We will be heading up to Tallahassee. That is open to any ABC member. So if you're an ABC member and you want to join us, just head over to our website,
abcflgolf.org.
.org, thank you. And you can sign up to go with us. And if you've never been, I highly suggest that you check it out at least one time, because it gives you a good behind-the-scenes look of exactly what we are doing on the political front. We're not just, cutting checks. We're actually meeting with our elected officials and sharing with them, how the laws that they're looking at are going to affect not just the construction industry, but the actual construction companies. And it's always more powerful when we have company owners and company representatives in Tallahassee sharing their story with these elected officials. Makes it more impactful.
Yep. And in June, we go to Washington, D.C. again, our annual trek to the nation's capital, and we look forward to that as well. And both of those experiences, if you want to get involved politically, those are the two events to go to.
Absolutely.
I also think, excuse me, but ABC as a association celebrates our 75th anniversary this year, if you can believe that. Our chapter celebrated 55 years in 2024, but ABC National celebrates their 75th anniversary, and that kicks off in February in the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada.
There might be some celebrating going on there.
Yes.
And 75th anniversary, that's the diamond anniversary, I believe. So we probably need some kind of bling or something.
That's correct. Yeah, we need a little bit of bling. The national convention in Las Vegas is going to be at the Mandalay Bay. We're going to have we're having the construction management competition. So our two student chapters, the University of Florida and Florida Gulf Coast University, will be competing with other student chapters across the nation to compete for the title. And we hope that one of our chapters brings home the first place award.
Yeah, well, we have a very good track record of students who we send winning, usually gold. And coincidentally, today I'm wearing a craft championship vest from a couple years ago.
That's right. And we also send our apprentices up to compete in the National Craft Championship. This year we are sending 2 electricians and 1 fire sprinkler competitor to compete. And we look forward to them being super successful and winning. They're going to be competing with 250 other competitors from across the United States. So we're super excited for them too.
Yep. And you also mentioned our student chapters. So shout out to University of Florida and FGCU, who are sending groups to compete in Las Vegas as well.
Yep. So we will be, Florida Gulf Coast chapter will be everywhere and hoping to help ABC National celebrate their 75th anniversary.
We'll do our part.
Yeah, we will definitely do our part. Also, this year for our chapter is every odd year is the Excellence in Construction Awards.
Yep.
So we get to celebrate all of your fantastic projects in our EIC program, which is in May. So make sure that you submit your projects, and you can submit them on our website, abcflgolf.org. Tell us what projects you're going to enter, and they get judged, and we have our big awards in May.
It's always a great night. I'm assuming it's going to be downtown again at the Hilton.
Yep, downtown at yes, it is downtown Hilton. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a great event. Always nice to see. You see all this construction going on all around town, and so this is a good opportunity to kind of be able to highlight all the projects that ABC members have worked on over the past 2-year period. And it's a good night for celebrating and getting recognition of all the projects and some pretty complex ones that our members work on.
Yep. One thing we did at our kickoff meeting, which was last week, our Toast the New Year event, is we recognized our 2024 Member of the Year, Tom Emmel with Flagship Fire.
Right.
You want to talk about Tom and why he got that award?
Well, Tom's an incredible individual if you don't know him. Excuse me, I was trying to fight that one. If you go to almost every ABC event, he's there. He's there with a big old smile on his face saying hello to everybody. You know, the ABC Member of the Year award is one that goes every year to an individual who is most warranted of the nomination, and I think you guys picking Tom was a no-brainer. He's a great member for our chapter. He's a great just individual all around.
Yeah, and if you want to figure out how to get the most out of your ABC membership, you have to look no further than Tom. Tom is at almost every event. He understands the power of networking, the power of putting his company in front of other companies, and he's just a great guy, and you can't miss him at events, and we're happy for him. Tom, congratulations, and we look forward to all of your participation in 2025.
No, definitely. And then also at that event, obviously, we had our new chairman sworn in, Scott Cox Fire Protection, our first second-generation chairman of our chapter. So he's a little going to take a little bit of convincing, but we do intend to have him on a podcast here in the coming months, so you can learn more about him and his background. He's got a very interesting background.
He sure does.
Second generation, third generation fire sprinkler contractor.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's amazing to be around this long. I mean, obviously, we've been around for 55 years, and for us to now have our first father-son chairman in our chapter, it's great to have second-generation leaders come up through the industry. So I couldn't be more excited to have Scott leading us this year.
Yeah, and it was nice to have Ron Cox, his dad. He was at the Toast of the New Year. He swore in the new board, so that was neat. And I saw the picture that you posted later on social media where it was Scott and Ron, and then you and your dad who led this chapter as the president for many years. It's kind of neat, second generation.
Yeah, it was a special moment for all four of us to take that photo together. And at that event, I was surprised. I mean, how many of our past leaders, chairman, did we have at that meeting? It was great. They all took a photo. So we'll make sure we share all of that on our social media.
Yeah, no, that was really neat to see. And that event is one of my favorite events of the year because people from the past come out to that event. So there were a lot of people there that I have not seen in a very long time, and it was good to catch up with them. Yep. And I like the dinner events, anyways. So.
Well, we have another one coming up in May that you can attend, Dave. But that pretty much wraps us up for our first edition of Blueprints and Banter. I hope you guys enjoyed our 2024 recap. 2025 is going to be spectacular. If you guys have any suggestions for this podcast, please feel free to reach out to the chapter. We look forward to spotlighting and highlighting all of our members this year. So just let us know what kind of content you want, and we'll make sure to provide that. So thank you guys very much, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care.